So, you want to sell a knife on Knife Swap. Well, that's great. It's personally my favorite place to buy, sell, and trade pocket knives. So I figured I'd make a little video walking through the process. So jumping right in, the first thing that we're going to want to do is take some pictures. So let's say I want to sell my Spyderco Delica. The first thing you're going to want to do is take a picture of the knife with a timestamp. So that is going to be with your Reddit username and the date that you're going to be selling the knife, today's date. And you'll want to take multiple pictures, both sides of the knife. At the very least, you could also include a picture to show the centering and a picture to show any relevant wear on the scales or the blade. And you can upload these pictures to any various of the image hosting services or websites available, like Imager, Flickr, Google Photos, Apple Photos. I use Imager. Most people use Imager, imgur.com. There have been a little issues with those links lately, but they still work fine for the most part. So once you get your pictures uploaded, you can go ahead and head over to reddit.com/r/knife_swap and get your post ready. So what you're going to do when you set up your posts is make sure a few things are included. So we'll start with the title. Want to sell or want to trade? The name of the knife. Now, if this is the first knife that you're selling, then you'll list that out, Spyderco Delica. I'd include that it had a mod or any other relevant information, the blade steel. And if it's your first post, you can only do one. After you've made and confirmed and completed your first sale, then you can post sales with multiple knives in one. But if it's your first one, you can only do one. Those are the rules. So in the body of the post, you want to include your link with the timestamp, clearly labeled, and some information about the condition of the knife. The edge, has it been used? Has it been sharpened? Is it brand new in box? Have you carried it? Include any of that. This one has been used and sharpened, so that is what I would put. As well as how many owners has it had? Are you the first owner? Did you buy it secondhand? Do you know how many owners that it's had? If you don't know before you, but you're the second, at least two. How about the centering and the lockup? We can see this is dead on, so we'll say dead center. And the lockup. Well, these Delicas with the mods sometimes can have a little bit of lock rock, a little bit of up and down play. So I'd want to include that as well. We want to make sure that we have a fair sale. Body condition. So this knife has a like a sandblasted titanium finish, and that sure does pick up some snails. So I would surely include that there is some wear on the scales and the clip, and try to make sure I include some pictures that clearly show that as well. Now, do you have the original box papers or any accessories with the knife? I would include that as well. Mods. Well, here we have the Lynch mod for the Delica, so I would make sure to put that in the post also. Has it been disassembled? Well, of course we know this one has, but you can't always tell, so include if it has. It's just relevant information to somebody who's going to be buying a knife used. And then include the trade value or sale value that you would like for the knife. The trade value, of course, is just the equivalent of exchange of the value of the knife that you're looking to trade for. So once you get your post all out there, then you can wait. You can wait for somebody to comment YOLO or post that they want to chat, and they'll send you a chat invite. Now, if they post YOLO, that means they are happy with the value that you posted it for, and they'll just want to buy it at that. A lot of times people will chat with you and try to negotiate a better price, which is fine. It'll helps people get better deals, and if something's not moving along as quickly as you like, well, you might need to reduce that price anyway and we can go ahead and talk about price reduction. Say that knife just isn't moving along as quickly as you wanted it to, so you want to reduce the price, and that allows you to also repost the knife so you could get some more exposure on the post. But you have to reduce the price by at least 10% or $25, whichever is the lesser amount that you choose, in order to repost that potential sale. What I would suggest doing before posting any knife for sale is try to search the knife in the subreddit to see what they've been going for recently. The market can fluctuate greatly with different knives, and it's a lot easier to just kind of put right out there what they've been going for rather than trying to get the very most out of, or just if you want to try to shoot for it, maybe somebody will buy it. No harm done. I guess it depends on how quickly you want to move things along. So somebody buys your knife. They YOLO it, they chat, you come to an agreement. Payment. So until you have 25 transactions, you must only accept payment via PayPal goods and services. Now this is to protect the buyer. This prevents people from coming on with ill intentions to post pictures of knives that maybe aren't theirs, but with no intention of actually selling the knife. They'll just take the payment, delete the Reddit account, and pretend like none of that happened, and they run away with your money. With PayPal goods and services, you can contest a payment, and it adds a little bit of protection for the buyer there. Once you get past 25 transactions, trades, buys, sells, then you can use a different payment method and you're considered to be a trusted trader. So after the payment is in the chat, you would give the person your PayPal name. They'll send you the payment. Once it's confirmed, generally they'll provide their address and shipping information, and then you are expected to get that knife shipped within a couple of days. Be reasonable with the shipping. Don't hang on to it for another week. Get it out as quickly as you can. It's just common courtesy. Provide a tracking number to the buyer as soon as you have it available. And insurance. As the seller, you are responsible for the knife before it arrives to the buyer, so I would insure the knife. If it gets lost in the mail or just comes up missing, it is your responsibility as the seller to compensate the buyer. So it's always a good idea to insure anything you're shipping, especially if it's a pricier knife. Buying on the knife swap is a little more simple, and it's pretty much just the same thing in reverse. You're browsing through, you see a knife you like, you see it at a good price, we'll comment YOLO and it can be yours. Go through, open up the chat with the seller, ask for their payment information, send them the payment via whatever platform that they use at the time. Once they confirm the payment, you'll give them your shipping information, and then your knife will be on the way. Now, there's probably something I'm missing, and if there's anybody who has more experience, please just let me know in the comments. I've been on KnifeSwap for a couple of years now, and it is my favorite place to buy, sell, and trade. I've gotten a lot of really good deals there. I've moved a lot of knives that I just haven't used and sent away to good homes, and I've met a lot of really cool people, and I really haven't had very many bad interactions through the few years that I've been there. Met a lot of like-minded people that I'll still carry on conversations with well after the sale has been completed. Now, speaking of completing the sale, once the buyer has received their knife, they'll go on to your post and comment, tag your username, and then the KnifeSwap bot, u/KSBOT, and then they would type that they received their knife and their end of the transaction is complete. And then under that comment, you can confirm that it has. And then once that has taken place, the KnifeSwap will track your flare or your transactions, and it will increase the amount. And then after you get 25 of those is when you're opened up to be able to take any payment method you like, and you're not stuck with the PayPal goods and services. Trading on KnifeSwap. Trading, there's a little more faith in the buyer and seller because there's no confirmation of payment. It's just, we're going to drop these in the mail and just hope we're both trustworthy enough people to receive them. And that's just another reason why there is the tracking system and the flare, because you can see how many trades or transactions that somebody has had and their reputation, and then you can proceed accordingly. If you're not comfortable trading with somebody with zero flare, then don't. If you're at lower flare and you want to trade with somebody more and you trust them but they don't trust you, well, offer to have them only send the knife to you after they've received theirs. I did that when I first started out, if anybody seemed like they were apprehensive, but only with somebody who had a good bit of transactions that I knew was trustworthy. Now, other notes with the sale: it is up to you at the end of the day who you want to make a sale to, but it is really just kind of unspoken rule. It might actually be a rule. If somebody comments YOLO first, well, it is their sale. Include if there's anywhere you don't want to ship to, if you don't want to ship out of the United States. I just recently saw somebody who got to the sale, and I think they may have even accepted payment, I'm not sure, but somebody YOLO'd a post and then ended up having to back out because the person wasn't in the United States, so the seller did not want to ship to them, so they kind of had to go back through and start all the way over. And once that sale is complete, you can go in and edit your post, and you type the little squiggle, 2 of them on each side of the price or the whole post, and one at the beginning, one at the end, and it'll add a strike through and just mark sold, and then update your tag on your post to sold, and then you're done. Of course, after everything is shipped and received. But I just really like the knife swap, and I figured I'd take a second to promote it a little bit and give a little walkthrough. Something like this wasn't available when I first started, and I wish that there was, but I'm also only telling you about things that are very, very clearly stated in the rules. So I just ended up actually just going and reading the rules and made my posts and did just fine. And if you do mess up, moderators will be there to tell you what to fix and tell you exactly what you need to do to get that post up and going and get your sale ready to go. If you have any other questions or anything that I may have missed, please let me know in the comments, and I hope that I see you over on the swap.